So anybody who has a pony or a miniature horse, and even some horses, knows that right now is the time in the springtime when all that grass is coming up and you take a risk of founder. So right now I've been just with this little guy, and first things first is I put his muzzle in the stall, and then just for him to get used to it, and then I put it on him a couple of times and took it off. I'm going to show you kind of what I did to get him used to his muzzle so that he doesn't founder because of the rich grass and the insulin. So right now I'm just kind of going back and forth where I give him a little bit of grain, just a little bit, and then I kind of show him it, and I put it on his nose just a little bit, take it off, give him that grain as a good reward. And then I go back, and then when I put it on, I'll put it over his ears this time. Hold on. What I do is, because he really can't get to that grain, so I give him scratches. So I scratch the back of his ears, his forelock. I just say he's a good little boy, and he does not like that. And it's scary, it's new. You can see him, he's even just a little bit of shaking if you look at his mane. So then I come in, I do it on one-handed, if I can. You're gonna want this tight, but not too tight. See how there's room? You want at least an inch on each side. I will say this, if it's too loose, they will get it off. They just will take it off. And they're gonna do anything to get it off. So you can kind of see his reaction to putting that on. Not a happy little man. Get this thing off of me. They're just not used to it. So this is just an exercise of kind of getting him used to it. He does have to have this on though, because the chance of founder is very, very high, especially with these minis, ponies, and even some horses. And you can see he is definitely overweight, and that's after winter. So he holds weight very well, too well. Signs of founder are the sudden onset of lameness. So the sudden resistance to walking or moving, feeling a pulse on the inside of the fetlock, the ankle, and the heat in the foot, shifting weight back and forth between legs. All right, so now I'm going to unhook it. Always pull it off. When you're pulling it off, go slow, because you don't want them to think that it's an awful device and to try to take it off as fast as possible. So it's a nice slow, letting him smell it. And now he gets his grain, which is totally what he's been waiting for. Good little man. I'll take that, thank you. And it's even a good response because see how he's just right there? He's not running away. The first time I came by, he was running the other direction, which is not what we want. So definitely a motivation is the oats, and just slow and steady. This doesn't need to all be accomplished in 2 seconds. You need to be able to give yourself time to get the little ponies used to it. So even now, I'm just gonna walk around a little bit. I have that muzzle there, right? You can smell it and eat. You want to associate this muzzle with getting grain. He will be way more apt to put that on. After doing that a couple of times, I am going to give him grain, and I'm going to be putting it on and letting him stand in the stall with it on for a bit. Look at it. What a nice little... Backing's up okay. I kind of do where you reward good behavior and you just ignore the bad behavior. This is all so new, you know. He gets his pets. Oh, they will do anything to get those off. Which is scary because if they're, you know, like we've got a 17-acre pasture. So if he gets that off, we're in big trouble. And putting him in a separate pen isn't really an option. We've got a lot of coyotes around here, and if there's just one little guy like him in a pen, they can easily go in there and do some bad things. So the easiest is for him to have a muzzle out in the pasture and us to just check all the time to make sure he does not get it off. And also to have one on standby if he does get it off. He will get used to it. There is holes in the bottom and then also on the sides of it. So basically what it does is it makes the intake maybe 1/10 of what it would be, maybe even more, maybe like 1/5. They're not starving, they're getting just enough and they gotta work for it. But with these little guys, you gotta be so careful. Foundering is a very dangerous condition to have happen. Definitely not worth it. A lot of horses, once they founder a couple times, have to be put down, which is really, really sad. Even sometimes the first time. All right, I'm just gonna leave him in here now.